Wars of a nation are fought to change the map, but wars of poverty are fought to map change. It means that wars of a nation is for hurting others, but wars of poverty is for helping others. With this great quote of Muhammad Ali, an American boxer. Good morning everyone, it's me 𝐒𝐫𝐞𝐿 standing in front of you all on the behalf of today's economic PowerPoint presentation, and the topic of our presentation is poverty, its types, its causes and its pleasure. So without any detail, let me begin. Poverty, where did it came from? Where did this word origin from? Poverty word origin from the Latin word called poor, and it is defined as poverty is defined as the inability to secure the basic requirement of our life, such as basic needs like food, shelter, health, clothes and education. Talking about poverty, it has mainly two types: absolute poverty, relative poverty. Absolute poverty, if a person or a family cannot achieve the basic requirement of our life, that is basic needs like food, shelter, clothes, education, etc., then it is absolute poverty. Relative poverty, it is the situation in which a person has a high income, but comparison to another person, he has a low income and his economic condition is poor, then it is relative poverty. The world is suffering from poverty. The method of calculating poverty is consumption expenditure rather than per capita income. The world is suffering from 46.9% of poverty rate. That is 44 million of people are suffering from poverty. The country with least poverty rate is Iceland with 4.9% of poverty rate. Nepal is also suffering from poverty. According to economic survey of 2022 to 2023, below 16.7% of Nepal population is suffering from poverty. For example, I think that all you guys have traveled the way from Balaju to Banastali. On the left hand side of it, there are the children who are suffering from the poverty. The merciful situation of the children are so pathetic that at that time I think the government isn't doing anything to reduce poverty. Also, the causes of poverty is due to the geographical structure of a nation, the mountainous region and the expensive system for constructing roads and building. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Suraj Shah from 12th Standard of Southwestern State College, and today I'm here to discuss on the topic poverty. As our previously friend said, poverty is a situation where an individual is unable to attain the basic necessities of our life. Now, what is the core problem behind poverty? There is 15.9% of poverty in Nepal, but why and what are the core causes? So the first causes is inadequate employment opportunities. The pathao, the tuchal and the indrive. What is it? These things are quite familiar with us because people are not getting the job opportunities with the decent wages, and they are the primary drivers for the overseas labor trafficking, and it often turns out to be the slave labor. They work for unlimited hours with no wages, and we often hear the people over here don't get what they earn over there. So it is the problem behind the poverty. And the next thing is government instability. Going back to 1996, there was a 10 years of Maoist rebel war, which is called Maowadi War, and from the time 1996 to 2006 it happened, and after it settled down the government was unstable. The government has no initiatives to control the poverty, but coming to 2023 still the government is unstable. The government is struggling to sustain enough of the initiatives to help majority of its people to escape the poverty, but the instability is even worsened by our governments, and the country's leaders in the two larger nations, India and China, are found to be continually meddling the Nepal's affairs and preventing us from doing the projects which could be viable projects. And the next thing is geographical challenge. Being fair with the Nepal government, they have to face the tough challenges that other nations don't have to, as they are working on other causes of poverty. But in Nepal, as our country is much of mountainous regions, there are so many problems. It is difficult to initiate the construction of roads or any infrastructures in the rural areas, and in some places they are not even reached. And the next thing is Nepal is landlocked country, so the easy shipments of the goods are not possible through the overseas country, which makes the price of goods go higher, and when the price of goods go higher, the people cannot afford the goods, and it is the next reason of the poverty. And the next thing is illiteracy. In Nepal there are schools, but the problem is they are not free, and of them who can afford to send their students or their children to the school may not be able to send all of their kids to the school. And in this situation, guess who gets out of the school first, the girls or the boys? Obviously, the girls will get out of the school first, because as our society is male dominant, the girls will grow up with no skills and no education, which will have a greater dependence in the men, the families and the society. And what happens is, when these things fails to deliver, it influences the desperation and then fuels up the networking of traffic. And the next thing is unbalanced population. Our country's population in 1911 was estimated roughly around 56 lakh and 36,000, but the population of Nepal today is across 3.3 crore. It means the population has grown so rapidly. But what about the ratio of economic development and the opportunities and the resources to the people? The population of Nepal is extremely high. It has grown rapidly, but the level of opportunities are still the same. There are few opportunities but more population. It means the peoples cannot get the opportunities. There is a tough competition in the market. As we discussed, illiteracy is a problem for poverty. So the people under the poverty are not skilled, not illiterate, so they cannot get the job or the opportunities. So it means anyhow, these causes are causing the poverty to not eradicate from Nepal. So saying this much, I would like to conclude my talk here. Thank you.
And good morning everyone, it's me Sunil Gautam, a student of Southwestern State College, grade 12, standing in front of you all to talk about the remedial measures of poverty. As two of my friends have already described what poverty is and what are its causes, I would like to talk about the remedial measures. So the first point is development of rural infrastructures. The development of rural infrastructure helps in creating opportunities and productivity of rural people. Adequate transportation, irrigation, health, education, etc. facilities helps in creating economic opportunities, which helps in poverty reduction in long term. The second point is creation of employment opportunities. I think we all know that the major cause of poverty is lack of employment opportunities. So the priority should be given in establishment of small-scale cottage industries, which provide employment opportunities in the off-seasons too. The next point is targeted programs for poor. Various kinds of targeted programs in the field of health, education, employment, etc. must be provided to the marginalized class of people who have not been able to enter in the mainstream of development of our country. The next point is skill development programs and trainings. In today's world, skill is very essential. The demand of skilled, semi-skilled and trained manpower is increasing. So various skill development programs and trainings related to fields such as plumbing, welding, cook, etc. must be done to increase the income earning opportunity of people. So the last point is women empowerment. So it is said that women can play multiple roles in our society. So special emphasis should be given to the women in the field of education, health, etc. so that in return it will help in reduction of rapid population growth and helps in increasing productivity. That's my time. Thank you.
From poverty is complicated, but feeding a child isn't. A person dies of hunger, it is because God did not take care of him, because it is neither I, neither you guys help him at the time he needed. So let us reduce the poverty together. Let us help all the people who are suffering from poverty.